Hello, everybody. Welcome to AEW Weekly Wrap Up. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to talk about the AEW shows from April 24th for April 28th this week, and then give you a rundown of the shows for next week. Ring of Honor, you know the drill, so we're just going to get right into it. So, we're going to kick it up with Monday, April 24th for AEW Dark Elevation. This was the best of episode. If you haven't heard the news, apparently it's coming to an end. Because since Ring of Honor came back, they've been taping before Dynamite and after Rampage, and they are keeping Dark on Tuesdays. With the Monday show, they're probably gonna get rid of. But I seen on Fight TV. But honestly, I'm just gonna wait till AEW says something or Fightful or Wrestling Observer. So, but I don't know what's going on. But let's just get down to this. So, with the best of show, so we kick it over with a trios match from the episode 27 on June 9th, 2021. Is Luther and Pentago of Chaos Project team up Ricochet Page to go against Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin. So Moxley and Kingston attack before the bell, wiping out Ricochet Page and Luther, then takes in Darby Allin, who had to cover it on San Pentago for a 2 count. San Pentago avoids a coffin drop setup, kick from Allin, the shotgun drop kick in the corner. Luther trips of Allin, allows San Pentago to attack him. Luther tags in, chops at Allin, then hits a enziguri. San Pentago tags in, and Luther sends Pentago on the Darby a few times. Ricochet Page takes in and hits Darby with some strikes to the kick, then a kick to the back. Luther tags in and hits a backbreaker. Pentago tags in and Luther reverse suplex to drop Pentago onto Darby. Luther with a scoop Sunday or Pentago to climb up top rope. Tries to suplex him onto Darby, but Darby moves out of the way and takes it Eddie Kingston. He attacks Chaos Project with a powerbomb and in a Tower of Doom spot. Kingston with the Kabashi chops in the corner to Luther before Luther rakes the eyes to get free. Kingston sends Luther hits Luther with the back fist to the future. Luther takes over and Ricochet Page tags in as Kingston takes in Jon Moxley. Moxley encourages Page to hit him before Moxley clocks with an elbow, then a Sato suplex. Insecurity from Shane Page to a release suplex. RSP goes to the top, where Moxley rolls away from a senton, takes in Eddie. Eddie with the Explorer as Moxley hits a paradigm shift to San Pentago. Darby takes and hits the coffin drop to Page for the win at 6 minutes and 18 seconds. Forgot about this match. I haven't watched that episode in a few years. It was fun. I give this one 6 out of 10. And then we go to the second match of the show from episode 68 on June 20th, 2022. It is Andre El Idolo go against Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian is now in Impact Wrestling. So match starts with a lockup. Then El Idolo and Kazarian fight for position in the corner before they break it up. Then we get some shoving. Then Andrade with a schoolboy for a 2 count. Kazarian grabs the arm for control. El Idolo counts up arm work of his own. Then Kazarian grabs a side headlock. Andrade doesn't go down for a shoulder block, so Kazarian hits a jump one, take him down, falls with an arm drag, slide, headlock, takeover. Kazarian floats up back, suplexes Andrade out of the ring, then a leg drop from him as Andrade drag is back in the ring. Do we see hosted the assistant blocks Kazarian's dive attempt, and distraction allows Andrade to send Kazarian into the ring post. Back in the ring, El Idolo with some strikes. Andrade goes up the Kazarian, but Kazarian kicks him off. Then a small package for like cruiserweight bomb for a 2 count. Kazarian lands a chop on Andrade, cuts him off with a big boot, and Andrade wants El Idolo, but Kazarian fights him off, but he gets hit with a kick. Kazarian with some punches, starts to follow more strikes than a modified flapjack. El Idolo avoids a crossface chicken wing and tosses Kazarian into the corner with a hip toss. Andrade with in the corner Meteor for a 2 count. He goes on top of Kazarian, meets him up there, looks for back superplex, but can't find it, but does hit the Japanese Ocean Cyclone suplex for a 2 count. Back over on Andrade as both men take turn in the ropes. Kazarian gets laid with a backbreaker, and Andrade hits the El Idolo for the win at 8 minutes and 43 seconds. I actually forgot how fun this match was. I give this one 7 out of 10. In the third match from episode 60 on April 25th, 2022, it's Kano's getting Takeshita going on Brandon Cutler. Takeshita with a short block, then some rope running before he hits a calf kick. Takeshita with a front slam in the second rope senton for a 2 count. Brandon Cutler avoids a corner charge and hits a kick. Dancing elbow draws, but he misses the third one. Takeshita with some elbows and then connects with a flying clothesline. DDT from Takeshita got a 2 count. Try to attempt at the Blue Thunder Bomb. It connects for another 2 count. Cutler tries to fire out with chops, but Takeshita just takes him down with more elbows. Cutler tries to get the cold spray hits the cold spray to the eyes of Takeshita, and then gets a schoolboy for a 2 count. Backslide from Cutler got a 2 count. And then Takeshita blocks small package, hits the tail of Brainbuster, only for a 2 count, and then he hits Cutler with the saw for the win at 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Not a bad match. I give this one 5 out of 10. Then we go to the May 30th episode of Dark Elevation. This is episode 65. For the Ring Honor Women's Health, the champion Mercedes Martinez defeats Maserati. Smash starts with Maserati declines the code of honor. Then some quick side hitlock work from Maserati, but Martinez counters the top wrist lock, trips her down, grabs a chin lock. Martinez wrestles Mercedes, grabs an arm wrangler, but Mercedes grabs the arm grab and does some jumping jacks and runs away from Martinez. Mercedes clocks for an elbow, suplex from the with a nice delay before clearing with suplex. Maserati fights over wrestle, hits some kicks, but misses series of kicks, but does land an elbow. Kneeling DD for a 2 count, hits a snap suplex for a 1 count, then Martinez just tosses her overhead. Mercedes lays a body kick, pump kick for a 1 count. She locks that chin lock, then switches to a sleeper hold, but Martinez slams out of it, hits a series of clotheslines, running boot, and a basement dropkick. Martinez gets a 2 count off a spine buster. Maserati fights back with a sharp strikes, then jump DD's countered. Martinez sends her across Rose forearm, and then the Brass City Sleeper for a submission win and retain the Ring Honor Women's title at 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Another fun little match. I give this one 5 out of 10. Then we go to the episode 57 on April 4th, 2022. It's some tag team action. It is Trent Barretta and Chuck Taylor up best friends. Go against the workhorsemen. That's JD Drake and Anthony Henry. So Chuck Taylor and Anthony Henry start the match off. Henry hits a shoulder block, but Taylor comes back with a few arm drag kicks, and Trent Barretta best friends with a double suplex, and then Barretta with a back elbow. Henry hits a back kick, takes in JD Drake, and then he grabs an arm drag. Taylor takes back and blind take to Henry. Workhorsemen prevent the hug. Then we get some brawling on the floor as Henry sends Barretta around, and Drake chops there and lay in the Henry and Taylor with a flying hip attack. We go back inside the ring. JD gets a tag, hits a double offense to Chuck Taylor, but only got a 2 count. Drake hits a chop, scoops it in a falling hip butt. Taylor rolls out of the ring, sends Henry into the barricade. Orange Cassidy comes over and puts his good hand in the spot to distract JD Drake. Taylor connects with a flatliner, and both men tag out. Barretta runs wild on Henry for a little bit, but got run into a big boot, but comes back with a steel suplex. Drake takes back and eats chops from Barretta. Trent with a donated DT for a 2 count. More strikes from Barretta, and then Drake throws in the ring, dodges a dive, and bounces Barretta up the ropes, and then clocks with an elbow. Back inside the ring, Henry hits a TKO, and Drake falls with a Shining Wizard, and Taylor has to break up the pin. JD hits Taylor with a Black Hole Slam. Trent is able to fight back and hits a Tornado DDT. Henry hits the blind take, super kicks Barretta, hits a double stomp across the knees of Drake for a 2 count. Barretta comes back with a clothesline. Taylor knees Drake up for soul food, then half nails to Barretta, best friends hug, and then hits Henry with the strong zero for the win at 8 minutes. Fun match. I give this one 7 out of 10. Now we go back to November 29, 2021, episode 39. 8-woman tag team action. We have Nyla Rose, The Bunny, Diamante, and Emma Sakura. Go against Julia Hart, Layla Hirsch, Rhea Mitsumori, and Sky Blue. So the Bunny Rhea Mitsumori keeps the matchup. Mitsumori punches Bunny, now runs over a short block. Scoots up from Mitsumori, then misses a leg drop. Bunny hits a knee lift, takes Nyla Rose. Mitsumori runs for a double clothesline. Tim hits a double spear. Almost some chops on Rhodes, and then in the corner for a dancer for the final, and then takes it Layla Hirsch. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Hopefully she comes back soon. I know she's been out with an ACL injury, I believe. I just know injury, but I don't know if that's the right one, so don't quote me on that one. Everyone takes turns hitting drop kicks in the corners. Nyla Rose's things break down. Nyla with a scoop slam, and then pie faces Sky Blue. Emma Sakura tags in cheap shots Blue before laying chops to Hirsch in the corner. Sets up the corner cross by Emmy with a double underhook backbreaker. Goes for the cover, but Blue broke it up and started going after Sakura. Things break down. Nyla Rose to Bunny, Diamante, and Sakura lock Julia Hirsch, Mitsumori, and Blue in submission holds for a few seconds. Nyla takes back in by Hirsch, fires up with some strikes, but she got low breaks by Vicky Guerrero, leading to May. Sakura and Vicky attacking Layla Hirsch on the floor. Back inside the ring, Monte takes and lands a knee to Hirsch, then splash. Hirsch tries to fire and hits a leg capture back suplex to drop Monte. So she makes the tag to Sky Blue, and Sakura makes the tag as well. And Sky unloads on Emmy, close super kick, running with Glaria in the corner, hits on top by Sakura, rolls over taking Nyla. Nyla catches a super kick. Julia hits a chop block after make blind tag. Things break down again as Julia hits a drop kick on Nyla, then a small package for a 2 count. Nyla hits a top rope, runs of a body shove up Nyla, drills her to the mat with the beast bomb for the win at 6 minutes and 39 seconds. I give this one 6 out of 10. Fun little 8-woman tag match. Then we go to episode 66 that was aired on June 6, 2022. Trio session. We have Pac, Ray Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr. Does Death Triangle. Go against the Wingmen, Cesar Bonoli, Ryan Nemeth, and Peter Avalon. So Pentagon Jr. takes off his glove, tells Alex Bernardes, who makes the catch. Ray Phoenix sneaks in, super kicks Cesar Bernardi before things break down. Everyone lands kicks, then Benoit eats a series of kicks from Death Triangle. Ryan Nemeth and Peter Avalon get kicked off the apron as we get a triple dive from Death Triangle. Some more triple teamwork to Cesar Bernardi, but Nemeth and Avalon break off the pin. Caesar with some knees to Pentagon, scoops on and takes in Peter. Ryan Nemeth takes in, and they keep Pentagon Jr. isolated. Pentagon lands a kick and Sling Blade and takes in Ray Phoenix. Phoenix runs around Nemeth and Avalon, couldn't making Nemeth power of Avalon. Benoli catches a jumping Phoenix, presses him overhead, but Phoenix escapes and takes him Pac. Pac with a flying kick and a flying draw kick. Third with a kick and then a flying draw kick. My apologies. Pac with a flurry kicks to Avalon, tags in Pentagon. Nemeth gets caught in a brutalizer. Well, Lucha Bros hit a double stomp, assisted Fear Factor on Avalon, and then as Phoenix dived at Benoni, well, Pentagon pinned Avalon for the win at 5 minutes and 4 seconds. I give this one 5 out of 10. And then our 8th match of the show, this is from episode 60. This was aired on April 25th, 2022. We have Minoru Suzuki going on with QT Marshall. QT tried to avoid Minoru Suzuki first, then lands a kick, but Suzuki kicks his arm to snaps his arm over the ropes. Minoru looks for an armbar over the ropes, but he breaks before the 5 count on the floor. Suzuki also strikes on Marshall before bounds him off the ring apron. Backside inner solo grabs the leg of Suzuki. The referee sees it and ejects both him and Nick Camarado. Some trash talk from QT, but Suzuki just ended some strikes, but Suzuki no-sells him and then nails him with an elbow strike. QT fires him again, hits a clothesline. Suzuki counter suplex, grabs sleeper hold, elbow, and then gut style power driver for the win at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. This was pretty much a squash match. I give this one 5 out of 10. Don't mess with Mr. Grandpa. And then the 9th and final match of this best of episode. This is from episode 39, November 29th, 2021. 8-man tag team match with John Silver and Alex Rodriguez in the Dark Order. Teaming up with Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, the Farsi Blondes. I don't Garrison. I think he's out with injury as well. That's a name I haven't heard in a while as well. Go against, for the second time seen on this episode, Chaos Project, Luther Pentagon, team up with The Acclaim, Anthony Bollins, and Max Caster. So Reynolds and Lewis starts his matchup. So Pentagon distracts Reynolds, and Luther Hill lands a pump kick, but Reynolds no-sells, downloads with kicks, then takes in John Silver. So Pentagon takes some Tatum offense from Dark Order. Brian Pillman Jr. tags in, and Pentagon takes some offense from Farsi Blondes. Then Pentagon counts a powerbomb, and Max Caster lands a clothesline to Brian Pillman Jr. to take control of this match. Anthony Bowens tags in, and he attacks Pillman Jr. with strikes. Luther tags in some strikes, takes in the same Pentagon, who uses Luther to attack Pillman Jr. Pillman Jr. low bridges Luther, takes in Griff Garrison. Garrison runs well in San Pentago, big boot to Bowens, and it's a stinger splash. Bowens lands some furious strikes, but Garrison clocks him with a rolling elbow. John Silver takes a Luther, kicks in Pentagon in the face, and dies on the caster. Runs in the Bowens and then pump kicks Luther before hitting crossbody to Pentago. Reynolds dives onto everybody on the floor. Silver has pump kicks for Pentago, and it hits the spin doctor for the win at 4 minutes and 43 seconds. This actually was a fun little. I kind of forgot how fun this main event was. I give this one 5 out of 10. Or for a best all episode, I'd probably give this one a 5 or 6 out of 10. If I had to pick from this best up, I say check out the opening trios match. Andre Ellis versus Frankie Kazarian. The Ring of Honor women's title match, Best Friends 4 Horsemen, and the 8-woman tag. That's the ones I recommend checking out. But that's Dark Elevation. Now we will go to Tuesday, April 25th. This is AEW Dark back in Orlando, Florida. So we kick it off with Harley Quinn representing QTV go against Mafasa. I do apologize for if I butchered that name. I do apologize. It's the match of the Logan. Mafasa. Mafiosa. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm just gonna say M. M executes a drop toe hold, but Harley Cameron responds for a short tackle. Cameron hits a sunset flip and falls with a few knees in a Russian leg sweep. She sends M's head bounce off the mat, takes a selfie with her phone. M hits a splash at Cameron in the corner, but Cameron catches with a neck breaker, followed by a backstabber for the win at 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, fine little opening match. Fine one. I give this one 3 out of 10. Second match of the show, Blake Christian goes with Lee Johnson. Match starts with Blake extends to Lee Johnson, but Johnson slaps it away, then pushes Blake. Blake returns favor for Johnson, delivers an arm drag. Blake hits a drop kick and sends Johnson crashing to the floor, and then Lee sends it outside. Lee gets Blake back to the ring, fires a right hand, sends Blake's hit climb top turnbuckle. and it sends him into the opposite corner. He lands a suplex, but Blake hits a backstabber into Gary, hits the 6-1 on positive kick to Johnson's face before he sends Johnson face first at the top turnbuckle, connects with a back suplex. Lee with the blue thunder bomb for a 2 count. Blake hits a standing Spanish fly, climbs the top also for the splash, but Johnson ducks out of the way. Blake hits a spear to Johnson on the apron, goes flying and gets Johnson back inside the ring. Try to go for the springboard 50 splash again. Oh, sorry, springboard 50, not again. Sorry, I would say the original is 450. Anyway, Lee gets his knees up. Blake hits a Pele kick. Johnson cuts out a thrust kick, and then Blake drills him to the mat with the curb stomp for the win at 6 minutes and 27 seconds. This was a fun match. I give this one 7 out of 10. I actually wouldn't mind these two actually run it back. They could go 10, 15 minutes. That'd be a good match. So our third match of the show, tag team match, Cesar Bononi and Ryan Nemeth of the Wingmen go against Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson. So Ryan Nemeth and Brian Pillman Jr. locks match started. Then Nemeth clocks Pillman Jr. from behind, takes in Cesar Bononi. Bononi delivers stomp to Pillman Jr. in the corner for Peter Avalon, takes a cheap shot at Brian. While Cesar distracts the referee. Cesar hits a series of knees to Pillman, takes Nemeth back in. Cesar delivers a body slam and Nemeth falls with a draw kick. He delivers a knee to the midsection of Pillman Jr., fires a right hand to the spine. Avalon takes another cheap shot at Pillman Jr. while Nemeth have the referee's tension. But Arn Anderson lays him out with a clothesline. This allowed Pillman Jr. to make the hot take to Brock Anderson. Delivers a back on body slam to Nemeth, falls with a gut wrench. Suplex, but only tries to interfere, but Pillman Jr. and Anderson take him out. Brock low bridges Cesar to the outside before Nemeth does the same to Pillman Jr. Nemeth try to hit Brock Anderson with the hunk of love, but Brock rolls him up for the win at 4 minutes and 16 seconds. This was an okay tag match. Honestly, Peter Avalon interference was a little too much for me, but that's just me nitpicking. I give this one 5 out of 10. And then more tag team action. This is from the women's division. Emmy Sakura turns with May Sakura, go against Ashley Dean Boys and Raka Tihaka. I do apologize again if I butcher that. So Emmy Sakura may start attached Ashley and Rika from behind. Sakura catches Tihaka with a chop toe hold before Sakura throws the double stomp up the ropes. Sakura exits the ring, stay on the apron as May locks in a submission hold. Ashley breaks the hold and Tihaka plays Sakura with a modified backbreaker. Ashley tags in, delivers a draw kick. Sakura tags in, and Rika gets in the ring. Rika and Dean Boys each deliver a stomp to the midsection of Sakura, but Sakura sends them blind into each other. Fires out a few shots with them both in the corner. Ashley and Tihaka find themselves stacked up, and Sakura hits a running crossbody. Sakura gets in the ring, tosses both herself and Sakura onto Dean Boys and Tihaka with a double senton. Butterfly backbreaker, and then Raka broke up the pin. There was a hit to Sakura before Sakura delivers a double foot stomp to her hands off top rope. Sakura climbs the top rope and delivers a moonsault to Ashley Dean Boys for the win at 3 minutes and 35 seconds. This was not a bad tag match. I give this one 4 out of 10. Our fifth match of the show, Zach Klein goes with Jake Logan. Klein blindsides Logan, but Logan delivers an elbow splash in the corner before Zach closes on to the outside and throws him to steel steps. Throws a right hand to his head and gets him backside of the ring, gets him on the rope and hits a superplex. Jake with a rolling elbow, draw kick, try to go for the moonsault, but Zach ducks it and then plants him to the mat with the Fisherman's Buster for the win at 2 minutes and 3 seconds. I give this one 3 out of 10. And then the main event tag team match, John Silver and Alex Reynolds represent Dark Order, go against varsity athletes Tony Nese and Josh Woods. So Reynolds and Nese starts this matchup with London locking up, and then Nese does his usual flexing the bicep spot, but Reynolds surprised with a draw kick, falls with a crossbody, and then Nese makes it take Josh Woods. Delivers a right hand to Reynolds, steers the elbows and a knee. He fires some Silver Stone, takes Tony back in, delivers a back up and takes in Woods. Woods hits a running knee, plants Reynolds, goes for the cover. John Silver broke up the pin. Woods sends Silver to the outside for Nese try to interfere. Nese joins Silver while Woods delivers a German switch to Reynolds. Go for the cover, but Reynolds kicks out at 2. Nese takes and hits an uppercut. Reynolds makes the hot take to Silver, who sends Nese in the top turnbuckle face first, falls with an uppercut and serious kicks to the chest and Nese and connect with a brainbuster. Reynolds takes back, holds Nese in place as he drags him for the top turnbuckle. Silver climbs to the top of our Devar Persian and knocks Silver off the top, allows Nese to plant Reynolds, goes for the cover. Reynolds got his shoulder up. We see Evil Uno runs down and he takes out Davari. He sends him in the ring steps as Reynolds tosses an interfering Woods over to Silver and meets him with an uppercut. Dark Order hits the elbow, Insecurity Stunner, German suplex combo for the win at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. This was okay, not a bad tag match. I give this one 6 out of 10. Overall, 6 matches on this week's episode of Dark Elevation. On Dark. Overall score, I give this one 6 out of 10. And honestly, I recommend the two matches I say check out is Blake Christopher Lee Johnson and the main event Dark Order vs. Varsity. That's the only two I recommend checking out. But that was Dark. I know we will go to Wednesday, April 26th. This is live from Sunrise, Florida. So we kick it off with the international title. Orange Cassidy making another title defense against Bandito. Match starts with Orange Cassidy trying to impress Bandito by doing cartwheels until they exchange a couple arm drags, takedowns, and going back for some pen attempts. They have a stalemate till Cassidy puts Bandito's hands in his own pockets, sends Bandito to the floor and puts his own hands in his own pockets. They go back and forth for a bit till Cassidy sends Bandito outside again, this time with a draw kick followed by dive attempt, but Bandito catches him before dropping face first into the barricade. We go back to the ring. Bandito takes Cassidy down and locks in a modified stretch muffler before Cassidy grabs the bottom rope to break it up. Bandito sends Cassidy outside with a draw kick before diving him as we go to picture-in-picture break. We come back from picture-in-picture. Bandito takes Cassidy with a vertical suplex. As both men are laid out, Cassidy starts hitting Bandito with his lazy strikes, but Bandito comes back with a thrust kick, pump kick, and then throws Cassidy in the corner as he blocks him and starts slamming back and forth into turnbuckles at first. Cassidy gets a 2 count off a Michinoku driver. Bandito goes to the outside for a breather, but Cassidy dies on him for throwing him back inside the ring. Bandito suplexes Cassidy off the apron with one arm fighter pop-up cutter for a 2 count. After both men brawling on the top rope, Bandito catches a diving Cassidy, presses on it one arm. That is impressive as hell. For hitting a frog splash for a 2 count. Cassidy tries to go for the mousetrap, but Bandito reverses for a pin attempt of his own. They got a 2 count. They go back 4 for 1 before Cassidy connects with the orange punch, and then followed by the beach break for the win and retain the title at 15 minutes and 17 seconds. Fun opening match. Honestly, this international title is actually more of a workhorse on the TT title, but this one I give it 7 out of 10. And then we go backstage to Renee Paquette. She's with Adam Cole, who says tonight he will go to the ring and call Chris Jericho and show him the mistake he made. If Jericho doesn't come out, he will find him. There was the international champ Orange Cassidy and Bandito coming to the shot, and they both said, oh, when they found she wasn't there to interview them, which I did get a laugh out of that. We come back from Renee. We see Renee Paquette again, but this time she's with Jack Perry and Darby Allin. Darby Allin says he requested this time, says they both said things to each other that took too far. Darby says they don't have to like each other but respect each other. Darby says what MJF Sammy Guevara did Jungle Boy last week was wrong, and that they care about this pillar stuff. Perry will have his back. Jack agrees, and they aren't and won't be best as the friends, which could be him and Darby instead of him and Sammy. Darby agrees as he would be Perry again, as Perry said Darby got lucky last time because of that interview segment. Then we go to our second match of the show. One half of the World Tag Team Champions Dax Harwood goes well with Jeff Jarrett. So we get this match going with a lockup. Jarrett sends Harwood down before doing a bit of a strut. Dax comes back and says, hello, take over. Jeff takes Harwood down, walks on his bed before gets stomped from trying to do another strut. Jarrett takes out Harwood before he finally does the strut, but Dax comes back with multiple chops and upcuts in the corner. Jarrett comes back with stomps to Harwood in the corner and shouts out that Harwood wants to talk tough now. Dax pushes Jarrett on the top rope and knocks down as we go to our current picture-in-picture break. We come back. Both men are exchanging punches before Jarrett hits a knee breaker and tries a figure four. Dax stops and tries to put in sharpshooter. Jarrett goes crashing in the corners. Dax comes back with a diving headbutt. They go back 4-4. Dax got a 2 count of a pile driver. Jarrett tries to hit to the back, but Dax stops him, tosses him around the ring into the barricades before they go back inside. Jarrett dodges a diving draw kick attempt before slingshot Harwood into the corner for a 2 count. After more tie sling, Dax turns another figure four attempt inside cradle for a 2 count. Dax has a short arm lariat since you're on the apron. Do we see Strong J Dud shows up? Guess he tried to come out early, but the referees took him, son Jay Lethal, and Saddam Singh to the back. He trips him Harwood and tries to hold late as Jarrett goes for the pin, but the referee catches him. So Dax chases Dud around the ring. They get back inside. Jarrett hits Dax hard with the stroke. They get the victory at 11 minutes and 12 seconds. The match actually wasn't that bad. But also, I'm kind of getting tired of seeing Jeff Jarrett on my TV every week. But I have to give this match 6 out of 10. Then we go backstage. We see Tony Khan. He announces that this year Owen Hart Cup tournament. The opening ceremonies will start at Double or Nothing. Matches will take place in Canada, including Forbidden Door, and the finals will take place in Owen Hart's hometown in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, on July 15th. I'm actually pretty excited for this. I'm glad they're bringing back the Owen Cup tournament. I'm kind of glad they're not doing it Double or Nothing this year. It's good that they're doing it in Owen Hart's home country. in my home country, and also especially the finals in Owen's hometown of Calgary. But I think that's great for the men's and women's there. Then we go to our third match of the show. TNT champ Warlock goes on Ariel Levy. It's non-title. Warlock knocks down Levy down with a lariat, followed by 2 powerbombs, hits the third one, the crowd, and Sunrise for one more. So Warlock hits the fourth powerbomb for the quick win at a mid 33. Honestly, does not need to be on the show. I give this one 2 out of 10. So after the match, Arn Anderson grabs a microphone, says everybody ask him why he aligns with Warlow. Art tells tomorrow being the NF draft. He originally said draft, and he had to correct himself, say it was the NFL draft. Goes forward to Dynasty AEW. Arn says nobody has what Warlow has, and he can put AEW on his shoulders and then take him to the next millennium. But there are a couple of things Warlow needs to agree with on. Sometimes Warlow can have to pull a guy's eye and bite somebody's thumb off of. As Arn continues, he gets interrupted by Christian Cage or Luchasaurus. They back down in the ring, confront Warlow, and they stare him down. And then we go backstage. Renee Pickett is with Sammy Guevara, and she goes to ask him how he feels about the match with Darby in the finals of the Four Pillars tournament. But AEW World Champ MJF interrupts him, kisses him on the forehead, and it's his big night. Guevara gets one back, says it's their night and deserve it. And MJF talks about how people think he's doing his tournament to avoid a fatal 4-way. Before they both said they don't care, Guevara says he got MJF a present, brings out a matching vest for MJF, so MJF gave him a matching scarf, and then they close the same by hugging. And then we go backstage. We see RJ City starts with the main event, but as soon as he mentions Kenny Omega connects to catch just Jon Moxley and comes in and just loves him with a forearm. And then Wheeler Yuta just stomps on RJ City. And then we go. I actually thought this was the main. I'm surprised this match wasn't the main event, but I kind of get why. This is the finals of the Four Pillars tournament. Sammy Guevara goes one with Darby Allin, where the winner meets MJF at Double or Nothing for the world title. So both men go back and forth before Darby takes Guevara down with a side headlock. They battle back and forth, running the ropes till Darby catches Sammy with another headlock. Guevara knocks Darby down with a dropkick, starts working on his legs, but Allin comes back with a sharpshooter for Guevara and grabs the bottom rope. So Sammy spits in Darby's face, sends him into the ring post. They find the apron for a bit as Darby stands on Guevara's back, tries a German suplex, but Guevara low blows him. We'll hold on to the referee Paul Turner before hitting the moonsault on the floor, so we go to a pitcher-in-pitcher break. After that break, Darby tries to dive with Guevara on the outside, but Guevara catches him with a cutter. That was actually a nice-looking spot. Guevara grabs the table from underneath the ring and sets it up ringside. Darby ends up putting Guevara on the table. We see Tay Mello, Sammy Guevara's wife. Ryan stops Darby from jumping off the top rope, so Guevara runs and takes down Darby with a Spanish fly, but Darby was able to grab the bottom rope to break up the 3 count. Sammy places Darby on the table, comes to Darby, and hits a beautiful 6-3 splash right through the table. That was actually a good spot. Darby gets back inside the ring right before he got counted out. This episode MJF, who was on commentary. He leaves the commentary, hits on the ringside. Darby hits a shotgun dropkick, tries to go for the common draw, but Tay Mel goes on the apron, tries to referee. MJF tosses Darby to skateboard. Sammy Guevara pulls an Eddie Guerrero by laying down, pretending he got hit with the skateboard. Paul Turner turns around, he sees this, and disqualifies Darby out. Oh, wow, rare DQ in AEW. So Sammy Guevara wins at 12 minutes and 47 seconds. I was going to give this match 7 out of 10, but honestly, I didn't really like that ending too much. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But these two never have bad matches. So we know as of right now, the main event Double or Nothing. Sammy Guevara will challenge MJF for the world title. So after the match, MJF and Guevara are beating down Darby. Here comes Jack and Goldboy. Jeff runs down, chases him out. Tony Schiavone starts saying Tony Khan's telling someone on the headset. MJF grabs the microphone and says him and Guevara will be held on Double or Nothing, as Perry and Darby will hit back to the undercard because they suck. So Schiavone cuts him on, calls MJF a prick, and tells him to listen him up. Schiavone says Tony Khan had told him that Guevara has earned his world title shot at Double or Nothing, but next week on Dynamite there will be a tag team match with Jack Perry and Darby Allin will face MJF and Sammy Guevara. So if Perry and Darby win, they'll be added to match Double or Nothing, make it a Pillars 4-way. So pretty much we are going to get that match, but I'll run on the rest of the Rampage and stuff after this review. So then we go back to Ray because trying to get a reaction for MJF and Guevara, but MJF keeps watching as Tony Khan keeps playing games with them, and he will be able to keep him around if he continues this. MJF says wherever he goes, his Triple B title will follow, but stops Guevara from entering his car. He says it's full as we see inside, and there's nobody else in there, so he takes off. Then Adam Cole makes his way down the ring. He's all business as they replay the attack from Jericho last week. The attack from last week, himself and Britt Baker. Cole says, Chris Jericho can hear him and says Just them attacking Britt Baker. His girlfriend was unforgivable, and Jericho crossed on when he can't come back, and he will hurt him badly. Cole tells her to bring his ass to the ring so he can smash his face. Jericho doesn't come out, so Cole says he'll go find him. As about he was to leave the ring, we hear Judas play. Jericho appears on the Tron, says Cole did nothing, some from attacking Britt Baker, calls Cole a coward, and says he doesn't want to be here near him. But his guys will, as we see the rest of JS, Dylan Garcia, Jake Hager, Matt Menard, and Angel Parker come in the ring to take out Cole. And then we hear the music of Orange Cassidy, him and Bandito run down to make the save, but they outnumbered. All of a sudden, we hear NF Hardy by Killswitch Engage. It is Roderick Strong making his surprise return. He comes out takes with JS, and then him and Cole embrace and hug it out. Honestly, I don't get shocked much, but I was shocked when Roderick Strong came down. I did pop. We got to hear the return of NF Hardy by Killswitch. I'm a big heavy metal fan, especially Killswitch Engage, my top five favorite bands. But I'm glad Roderick Strong. I thought he was still on the WWE, honestly. I didn't know they released him. But honestly, I think AEW is a good spot for him. But it was cool seeing that. So I imagine we'll probably get Jericho and Cole at Double or Nothing. But wait and see. Then we go to QTV. But before QT Marshall could say much, he got pushed on the wall by Powerhouse Hobbs. Marshall comes down and says there's going to be a plan B. Plus that statement. And then we go to our TBS title match. Jade Cargill defends title Valkyrie. And if Valkyrie used the road to Valhalla, she would be disqualified. So the match immediately starts up with Ty trying to go for it, but she stops herself short. Taya sends Jade Carr over the apron, trying to go backside. Taya kicks her off to the outside. Jade stops the dive attempt for Taya and splits her down on the apron. And further DDT to drop into the floor, so we go to pitcher. We come back from break. Taya is in control, hits a blue thunder bomb. That got a 2 count. Jade comes back with a superplex, hits a Canadian Destroyer for a 2 count. That was actually pretty cool. Cargill goes for the Jaded, but Taya escapes and hits a double stomp for a 2 count. Taya goes for a road to Valhalla again, but referee Aubrey Albert stops her, which she does, and then Jade rolls her up for the win and then retain the TBS title at 8 minutes and 15 seconds. This was okay. I give this one 5 out of 10. Honestly, I didn't like that whole stipulation where Ty couldn't use the road to Valhalla, but this has to be sent for a rematch. And then after the match, Ty starts pushing Jade Cargill, Marston, and Layla Gray before she tried to hit Road to Valhalla and Aubrey Edwards, but the referees around and stop her. Then we go backstage. The women's champion Jimmy and Britt Baker said the Outcast got real good last week as haters in the sling from her shoulder, and that's why she couldn't help Britt last week. Jamie says they have declared war and it'll always be over if they send them to the bloody morgue. And Excalibur going like auctioneer mode, reading off the matches, but I'll do that after this review. So we're going to main event the Elite, Kenny Omega and Konosuke Takeshita go against the Butcher and the Blade. So Konosuke Takeshita and the Blade start this matchup. Takeshita stays in control before the Elite makes quick takes in and out. Omega hits a moonsault followed by a senton from Takeshita for a 2 count. Kip Sabian tries to trips up Omega as he gets in his face. Penelope Ford gets in between, giving Butcher a chance to attack Omega from behind. Before Sabian hits a beautiful ISA moonsault Omega, so we go to break. We come back from break. Takeshita to dive across by the Butcher, followed by a flying forearm. Takeshita attacks Butcher in the corner for a brainbuster for a 2 count. Blade comes in distracting Takeshita as the Butcher hits a backbreaker and a layer for another 2 count. Then Omega breaks up before he got sent to the outside. Omega stops the drag the leg attempt as Takeshita takes Butcher down with a Hurricane Rana. Takeshita falls over the Blue Thunder Bomb. The Blade breaks it up. Omega takes up the Blade with Snapdragon suplex for Diamond onto Blade and Sabian on the floor. And then Takeshita hits the Butcher with the power drive running knee for the win in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. This actually wasn't a bad main event. I give this one 6 out of 10. So then after the match, Brian Danielson, who was on commentary, he gets on the microphone. Takeshita is a professional wrestler who got the pin by Omega's an amateur wrestler who looks exhausted. Danielson said how much better Takeshita would be if he trained at the Blackpool Combat Club. And right on cue, we got John Moxley ringing while watching Claude Castagnoli, where Yuta running from the crowd starts attacking Omega. For the hit with a screwdriver, Young Bucks come up for the save. Omega gets a screwdriver himself, but Danielson tells Takeshita to stop him, which he does. Also, we see Moxley push Takeshita in Omega as they take him out. Blackpool Combat Club raised Takesha's hand, says he didn't want him to be with the Blackpool Combat Club, and Takeshita looks confused. But Yuta takes him out with the low blow, so they start attacking, and then Moxley hits him with the screwdriver to bust him open in the close of this week's Dynamite. Not a bad closing segment. Honestly, I would give this one. I had more good thoughts than negative thoughts on this show, so I give this one 6 out of 10. Honestly, I'd say check out I say the international title was easily the match of the night, but honestly, I'd probably say just skip the Warlow match, honestly, and possibly the TBS title match. That's probably the only two I say recommend skip. just skip it if you want. But so Friday's Rampage tonight, it started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, so that's 7:30 my time. So in tag team match, we have Bull Cup Gold, that's Jay White, Juice Robinson. Go against Ricky Starks and Sean Spears. Naturalist Limitless, Dustin Rhodes Keeley go against Brady Pearson, Charlie James. And then Jay goes one with Ashley Dean Boys. And trios match with The Acclaim, Anthony Butts Mac and Billy Gunn goes Cameron Stewart, Dante Cassidy, and Ryzen. And one half of the World Tag Team Champions Cash Wheeler goes with Jay Lethal. And then for the Dynamite card next week so far, we have tag team match, AEW World Champion MJF, Sammy Guevara goes Jungle Boy, Darby Allin. Jungle Boy and Darby Allin win. They go to the World Title Match, Double or Nothing. An 8-man tag team match with International Champ Orange Cassidy, Bandito, Adam Cole, and Roger Strong makes his in-ring debut. Go against Chris Jericho, Priest Society as Matt Menard, Angel Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager. So that is the AEW stuff. Now I'll run down the Ring of Honor results and then the card for next week. So we had 8 matches on the show and 1 classic flashback or review. I'll get that in a sec. So opening match, a program grab match, Ring of Honor Women's Champion at the end of the Lady Frost, 5 minutes and 13 seconds. In tag team match at Love Fashion, Inc. and Alvarez, Preston Fans and Roosh defeating the Infinite, Kali Bravo and Sean Dean, 2 minutes 52 seconds. Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Barrett defeat Joe Asaso and Mookie Summers, 2 minutes and 28 seconds. 6-man tag team champ Brian Kitchen and Leon Ruffin, 3 minutes and 16 seconds. The Dark Order, Evil and Stu Grayson defeat the Trustbusters, GSK and Sonny Kiss in tag team match in 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Sky Blue defeat Dean Monte, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Lee Moriarty defeat Rocky Romero, 7 minutes and 59 seconds. And the main event, Blake Christian defeat Grand K Loco, 6 minutes and 16 seconds. And then the flashback match was from New Frontiers on April 6, 2005. Samoa Joe retains the pure title against James Gibson, or as most fans probably know him now, is Jamie Noble, 23 minutes and 54 seconds. So it's episode 9. And then next week, episode 10. So we have 10 matches. So in pure rules match, Rocky Romero go against Lee Moriarty. Athena is in another Purple Ground match. The women's champion this time she go against Angelia Risk. Samoa Joe defensive television title against Christopher Daniels. Claudio Castagnoli defensive Ring of Honor World title against New Japan's Robbie Eagles. In 10-man tag team match, we have Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Barrett, with Ashley Andrade, Darius Martin, and Stu Grayson. They go against the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. And the Varsity Athletes, Ari Daivari, Joshua, Tony Nese. Preston Fans goes one with Reggie Adonis. Sky Blue for Robert Renegade. 6-man tag champ Brian Cage versus Brock Anderson. Will Nightingale for Steph DeLander. And Cobb Manor goes one with Angelico. So that is the AW Weekly Wrap-Up and the Ring of Honor stuff. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe, and I'll be back next week.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.